Going to work should be a positive part of your day. You expect to do your job and then head home safely, just as you left. This is a fundamental right for every single worker, everywhere in the world. No one should ever have to risk their health, or indeed their life, simply to earn a living and support their families. That is why workplace safety is not just some tick-box exercise or a bureaucratic hurdle. It is about genuinely caring for people, for your colleagues, for your friends, and for yourself. It's about making sure that everyone feels secure and protected while they are carrying out their duties. This core principle must be at the very heart of every business, no matter how big or small. Our well-being truly depends on it. We must always remember that prioritizing health and safety is about valuing people above all else. Of course, there are legal obligations for employers to meet, and these are incredibly important for setting standards. But true commitment to safety goes far beyond just following the rules to avoid fines or legal trouble. It is a moral responsibility that we all share. It reflects how much an organization cares for its employees, seeing them as individuals with lives, families, and futures that deserve to be protected. When a workplace truly values its people, safety becomes a natural priority, woven into the fabric of daily operations. This approach fosters a much healthier and more positive working environment for absolutely everyone involved in the enterprise. The benefits of creating and maintaining a genuinely safe workplace are truly immense, and they extend far beyond just preventing accidents and injuries. When people feel safe and looked after, their morale naturally improves significantly. They can focus better on their tasks without underlying anxiety about potential dangers. This, in turn, leads to increased productivity and often a higher quality of work. A strong safety culture also builds trust between employees and management, fostering better communication and a more collaborative atmosphere. Furthermore, a safe environment reduces stress and contributes positively to overall mental well-being, which is just as important as physical safety. It's a win-win situation for everyone involved in the organization. In this essay, we will explore together what workplace safety really means for all of us. We will look at how to spot potential dangers that might be lurking in your everyday work environment. We will also discuss the crucial rules and policies that need to be in place to protect everyone. Importantly, we will highlight that keeping a workplace safe is a team effort, where everyone has a vital part to play. My aim is to help empower you with the knowledge and understanding to make your workplace safer, because when we all understand our roles and responsibilities, we can work together to ensure that every working day ends as it should, safely. The very first step towards creating a safer workplace is learning how to spot potential dangers. We often call these dangers hazards. A hazard is anything that has the potential to cause harm. This harm could be an injury, an illness, or damage to property or the environment. Being aware of the different types of hazards that might exist in your particular place of work is absolutely crucial. It's like learning to read the warning signs before something goes wrong. This awareness allows you, your colleagues, and your employer to take proactive steps. These steps are designed to prevent accidents from happening in the first place, rather than just reacting after an incident occurs, which is always too late for someone. Physical hazards are perhaps the most common and easily recognizable dangers in many workplaces. These include things like slippery floors that could cause a fall, or trailing cables that present a trip hazard. Unguarded machinery with moving parts can cause serious injuries if someone gets too close. Working at height, for instance on ladders or scaffolding, carries an obvious risk of falling. Excessive noise can damage hearing over time, while poor lighting can lead to eye strain and mistakes. Even things like extreme temperatures, whether too hot or too cold, can pose a physical threat to your well-being if not managed properly. Always be on the lookout for these types of issues around you. Next, we have chemical and biological hazards, which can sometimes be less obvious but equally dangerous. Chemical hazards involve exposure to harmful substances. These might be strong cleaning products, solvents, paints, or even fine dust like silica or wood dust that can be inhaled. Fumes from welding or other industrial processes also fall into this category. Biological hazards come from living organisms. This includes bacteria, viruses, parasites, or mold. People working in healthcare, agriculture, or even cleaning services might face these risks more directly. Proper handling, storage, good ventilation, and personal protective equipment are vital when dealing with such hazards to stay safe. Finally, let's consider ergonomic and psychosocial hazards, which are increasingly recognized for their impact on our health. Ergonomic hazards arise from the design of your workspace or the way you perform tasks. This could be from poor posture while sitting at a desk, repetitive movements that strain muscles and joints, or lifting heavy objects incorrectly. These can lead to musculoskeletal disorders over time. Psychosocial hazards affect your mental and emotional well-being. Examples include excessive workload, tight deadlines leading to high stress, workplace bullying or harassment, and a lack of control over your work. Addressing these requires a supportive and well-managed work environment for everyone. So, how do we manage all these potential hazards and ensure everyone stays safe? This is where workplace health and safety policies come into play. A health and safety policy is a formal written document. It clearly states a company's commitment to protecting its employees and anyone else affected by its work activities, like visitors or contractors. It outlines the broad aims and objectives for safety. More importantly, it details the specific arrangements and procedures that are in place to achieve these aims. Think of it as the rulebook for safety within the organization. It provides a clear guide for everyone to follow, ensuring consistency and understanding across the board. These policies are absolutely essential for several very important reasons. Firstly, in most countries, having a health and safety policy is a legal requirement, especially for businesses over a certain size. But beyond the law, these policies provide a vital framework for action. They help to systematically identify risks and put control measures in place to manage them effectively. They ensure that safety is not just an afterthought, but an integral part of how the business operates day to day. A well-communicated policy demonstrates to employees that their employer takes their well-being seriously. This can significantly boost morale and create a more positive and trusting work atmosphere for all staff. A good health and safety policy should be comprehensive yet easy to understand for all employees. It typically includes clear statements of responsibility, outlining who is accountable for what, from senior management down to individual workers. It should detail specific procedures for safe working practices related to common tasks and known hazards within that particular workplace. Crucially, it must also cover emergency procedures. What to do in case of a fire, a medical emergency, or another serious incident. Arrangements for reporting accidents, incidents, and near misses are also a key component, as is information about any safety training that will be provided to the workforce. However, simply having a policy written down and filed away is not enough. For it to be effective, it needs to be a living document. This means it must be regularly reviewed and updated, especially when there are changes in the workplace, such as new equipment, new processes, or new legislation. It's also vital that the policy and any updates to it are clearly communicated to all employees. Everyone needs to know what the rules are and how they apply to their specific roles. Training and regular reminders can help ensure that safety policies are not just read, but actively followed and embraced by the entire workforce, making safety a daily reality. One of the most important messages about workplace safety is that it truly is a team effort. It's not just the responsibility of one person like a safety officer, or solely down to the management. While different people have different specific duties, everyone in the workplace has a role to play in creating and maintaining a safe environment. From the managing director to the newest apprentice, each individual's actions and attitudes contribute to the overall safety culture. When everyone understands their responsibilities and works together, the workplace becomes a much safer and healthier place for all. This collective approach is the cornerstone of effective safety management in any organization. Employers or the senior management of a company hold the ultimate legal and moral responsibility for ensuring a safe workplace. Their duties are quite extensive. They must provide a safe working environment by identifying and controlling hazards. This includes ensuring that buildings, equipment, and work systems are safe and well maintained. They must provide adequate information, instruction, training, and supervision to enable employees to work safely. This also means providing necessary personal protective equipment or PPE free of charge where risks cannot be eliminated. Crucially, employers must set the tone from the top, demonstrating a clear commitment to safety and encouraging open communication about safety concerns. Supervisors and line managers have a critical role in the day-to-day implementation of safety policies. They are on the front line, overseeing work and interacting directly with employees. Their responsibilities include ensuring that workers follow safe procedures and use equipment correctly. They must actively monitor the workplace for any new or uncontrolled hazards and take prompt action to address them. Supervisors should also be approachable, encouraging workers to report any safety concerns without fear of reprisal. They lead by example, always following safety rules themselves and promoting a positive safety attitude within their teams. They are the key link between management's policies and the workers' daily practices, making sure safety is real. Employees also have very important responsibilities for their own safety and for the safety of their colleagues. You must take reasonable care of your own health and safety. Cooperate with your employer on safety matters, following all the established rules and procedures. This includes using any safety equipment or PPE provided in the correct manner. You have a vital role in reporting any hazards, accidents, or near misses you observe to your supervisor or safety representative promptly. Don't be afraid to speak up if you see something unsafe. Safety officers or representatives act as champions and advisors, helping to coordinate efforts, but the daily vigilance of every worker is absolutely essential. To truly prevent accidents and ill health at work, we need to be proactive, not just reactive. This is where risk assessments come in. A risk assessment is simply a careful examination of what, in your work, could cause harm to people. It allows you to weigh up whether you have taken enough precautions or should do more to prevent that harm. The aim is to identify potential problems before they result in an injury or illness. It's a systematic way of thinking about what could go wrong and what steps are needed to stop it. This process is fundamental to managing health and safety effectively and is a legal requirement for all employers. The first step in any risk assessment is to identify the hazards. This involves systematically walking around the workplace and looking for anything that has the potential to cause harm. Think about the tasks people do, the equipment they use, the substances they handle, and the environment they work in. It's not just about the obvious dangers, you need to consider less apparent hazards too, like those ergonomic or psychosocial risks we discussed earlier. Talking to employees is crucial at this stage, as they often have first-hand experience of the risks involved in their jobs. Reviewing accident and ill health records can also help pinpoint recurring problems or areas of concern. Once hazards are identified, the next step is to decide who might be harmed and how. For each hazard, you need to evaluate the risk. This means thinking about how likely it is that harm will occur and how severe that harm could be. This helps to prioritize which hazards need the most urgent attention. After evaluating the risks, the crucial third step is to decide on control measures. The aim is to eliminate the hazard altogether if possible. If that's not feasible, then you must control the risk. This is often done using the hierarchy of controls. First, try to eliminate it, then substitute it with something less risky. Use engineering controls like machine guards, then administrative controls such as safe systems of work, and finally, as a last resort, provide personal protective equipment. A risk assessment is not a one-off task. It needs to be a continuous process. The fourth key step is to record your significant findings and then regularly review the assessment and update it if necessary. Reviews are especially important when there are changes in the workplace, new equipment, new staff, new ways of working, or if an incident occurs. This ensures that your safety measures remain effective and relevant. By regularly reviewing and acting on your risk assessments, you create a dynamic system that constantly works to keep people safe, adapting to the evolving nature of work, and protecting everyone from foreseeable harm. It's about staying one step ahead, always. Despite all our best efforts to prevent accidents through robust safety policies and thorough risk assessments, emergencies can still happen. The unexpected is, by its nature, difficult to predict perfectly. That's why being prepared for emergencies is an absolutely vital part of workplace safety. Effective emergency preparedness can make a huge difference in minimizing harm to people, protecting property, and ensuring the business can recover more quickly from an unforeseen event. Knowing what to do in a crisis can save lives, reduce panic, and help everyone respond calmly and effectively when seconds count. It's about having a clear plan and ensuring everyone is familiar with it. One of the most fundamental aspects of emergency preparedness is ensuring that everyone can evacuate the building safely and quickly if needed. This means having clearly marked emergency exits that are never ever blocked or locked. Escape routes should be well lit and free from obstructions. There should also be designated assembly points outside the building a safe distance away where everyone can gather to be accounted for. Clear signage indicating exits and routes is essential, particularly for visitors or new staff who may not be familiar with the layout. Regular checks should ensure these routes remain clear and accessible at all times for everyone. Alarms and drills play a crucial role in making sure people know how to respond in an emergency, such as a fire. Fire alarms, smoke detectors, and sprinkler systems, where appropriate,